the story and the plot and the characters. Sabrina?
Oh no, no. I mean, that was just my response, or I felt anyway that it was my response to your question about how um about just the role of Frank and Tammy in the girls and how they're so different. I think that was my response to the question.
Okay. All right. Tamara, you go ahead.
As far as your question regarding like trauma,
Mm-hmm. Who had more trauma?
I think I think it's like apples and oranges. You can't really compare because Maggie, from a young age, Maggie had her parents. Maggie had her parents. I think they said the mom died when she was like what, 8
Seven.
or 10 or
Yeah.
something.
Seven.
Seven.
So
Seven or eight.
7.
10?
Okay, so she 10. So she's from birth. She's always had that family unit. She had her aunt, even though Tammy was kind of crazy. Um, but she always had she had a parent, she had an aunt, she had extended family, so she always kind of had that security. Maggie's problem was that she thought one, she was better. She was better. What her parents were giving her, she wanted more, and she felt like I deserve more, and I'm gonna get more. Whether I gotta step over you, whether I have to kill you, whether I have to burn your store down, whatever. I want more and I deserve more. Whereas with Abigail, she didn't they say something about her parents were or her mom was a drug addict or something, and she kind of came from a very traumatic home, in and out of foster care. So even though Frank didn't like her in the beginning, Frank was very embarrassed by her in the beginning because, like you said, when she was grabbing all his food, and he's like, "No, you could come back. You can get more." And when you're dealing with children who have those issues where food is scarce, they grab, they take because they think that I got to get it now because it's not going to be any later. So I think Abigail started to grow onto Frank, whereas she became his father figure, and they decided to adopt. Well, he didn't adopt her, but he became like uncle father to her. And how like the part where he was at the school and they thought that he was her father, and he's like no, and she wrote that touching story about him, and she's like really smart. So I think for Frank, he was going through his grief too, and it's like I lost my wife. How can I be a parent? I lost my wife. How can I? And I think that's where Maggie fell, trying to, manipulate and scheme and scam throughout her teenage years. It's like, yeah, I do agree that Abigail was his second chance to kind of do it right because now he's been without his wife for years, and kind of he's starting to understand where he went wrong with Maggie. All throughout the story, he was always saying, "Look, Maggie, I just want to make sure you're okay." And he was always like saying, I want to make sure you're okay." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." But he always thought that it wasn't Maggie's fault. Maggie was driving this manipulation bus. She was a hot mess. And it was her. He's thinking it was everybody else, but it
Do
was
you think,
her
let
that
me
was
interrupt
in
you,
league with them.
because like whatever you are describing about Maggie and Abigail, the comparison, I'm trying to search for a word, and only word popping in my mind is that, do you think like she was a while ago, or she was treating her that as if Abigail as a flower girl, as her sister, or kind of like welcoming her. And just in a while, when she finds out something that could hurt her, and she becomes so callous
But
and
I
like,
think Maggie was trying to use her as a manipulation. Like, oh, okay, you have this little girl with, well, I'm gonna, well, we need a flower girl. The whoever was supposed to be the flower girl had to drop out, something happened. So it's like another manipulation of Tammy to let everybody think that, oh, she's so good. She's doing this for this poor little foster kid. She's allowing this girl with head lice who look a hot mess with a half her head, whatever they were saying with her hair. She gonna put her in a wedding. So Maggie's so good. And I think she used that as manipulation. I don't think that she would have did that without
Yeah,
thinking what's in it down the line for me.
I'm talking about, let's say, for example, because what I figured it out, like how callous she was when her father shared a secret thing for her to be in power rather than only the hard disk. And when he shared that thing, and rather than using it something for her power or something like that, and she turned back, I mean, like she turned against her father almost.
And I think she was always
So,
like, honestly, I think Maggie was always about what can I get? Like that, and like we were saying, when he went and broke in the thing, he thinking Aiden secrets was in the toilet. Aiden was hiding something in the toilet, but it was her recordings of them. And then in the end, she's agreeing to let them create an accident to kill Abigail because she saw the map and they knew how smart she was. And he knew, I think that light bulb finally went off at like, my daughter is messed up bad. And it's not them,
like,
it's her
if
too.
yeah, we repeat his words. That's the point. I figured it out. I have lost Maggie.
My daughter. And even
I
then,
lost.
he still went to prison to see her. You know,
Yeah,
even then, he still, even you still have that small of course, as a parent, I'm not a parent, but I help raise
yeah,
kids. But
yeah.
even then, he still has that, being a parent, that even though I know my child, I'm still going to I'm still going to keep that door open to let her know that
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
ever want
that's
to
what,
come back and do
yeah,
right, I'm here for
yeah,
you.
yeah. That's what, even if you remember, we were talking about true love, and Ray was mentioning that it's like kind of unconditional love, and that's the only one which is between the parents and the kids. That's unconditional, kind of. If you remember from our previous talks, I think from Mad Honey or somewhere when we were talking about.
But I don't
Okay,
agree. I don't agree. Maybe because I'm not a parent, but I don't agree that parents and children, that's unconditional love. I believe that it can be, but I think that also too, sometimes parents put conditions on their love. Sometimes kids put conditions on their love as well. So, I mean, I definitely could be wrong. I'm not
I will,
Tamara,
anybody.
I'll
it's funny,
listen to you
Tamara.
more about this
Uh,
point. I'll come back to you about this point, gather
so
your thoughts,
let
and
me
I will
jump.
give time.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Who would like to go first? Coin toss.
No, I was gonna comment on
Okay.
Tamara's point. So, and since
Okay, go ahead.
you tabled that one, I'll go ahead and sit
Sure.
this one out.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and comment. Go ahead.
No, because I when before Tamara was started speaking, I actually my mic was off, but I said the same thing. I said it's absolutely conditional. We say our love for our children are conditional, but most of the times it's I'm going to love you if you behave in a certain way. If you do things the way I expect you, the way I taught you, the way I raised you, and we struggle, not saying that we can't come back to it, because I think there are those times as parents where we do check ourselves and say,
Are
hold
you
on.
talking about are you talking about the love and the behavior, or
I'm talking about the point of Frank's love for Maggie being unconditional, and Tamara was saying that as parents, it's not always unconditional, and it's not. We do put conditions on it. I will love you
but not in
unconditionally
the love
if
No,
in
I
the
mean,
love? You
I
mean?
listen. I can't
Okay.
speak for all parents, but as a father too, my love is unconditional. I, you know,
I
uh,
think we have to
there's
check
there are
ourselves.
things that there are things. I mean, listen. I think you're talking about the nuances of the interactions of parenting. Yeah, you get upset about things. Kids make you mad, but at the end of the day, when the chips fall, they're going to eat. I'm going to
Right. When the
protect them.
chips fall, I
They're
agree.
going to have shelter. I'm going to love on them. I'm going
But
to
Ray, what I'm
protect
saying is
them.
that sometimes we have to check
And at the end,
ourselves in those moments.
Yeah.
just like Frank, at the end of the day, you know, you know, uh, you know, you know, I pray that my children are upright and never turn into a Maggie or Aiden. But at the end of the day, I can say all I want, but I know me. I'm going to be there for my kids regardless.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
even
and
all
that's,
So
and again,
I
not,
might be
I'm
upset
not
about it.
taking
Listen,
that.
let me say this. Like this guy, like the father who turned his son in recently in this recent situation. I would think that I would turn my kids in if they did something horrendous. But on the same token, that doesn't damage my love for that wouldn't damage my love for them. So I would still visit them. I would still love them. I would still pray for them. I'm not going to let them get away with murder.
Right.
uh
And I'm,
but
again,
so that's
I
I
don't
think when we
want,
talk about unconditional love, I think that's what people mean.
okay.
I
And
think
I
people.
don't want what I'm saying to be, because I feel like I don't want it to be misinterpreted or taken out of context. And like I said, I think when it settles and we have to check ourselves, because not all the time does it come across as unconditional, right? And everybody's experience is different. Maybe, and I have my own lenses and my own things that I've experienced, where the
yeah, but
people that say they're going to show up for you unconditionally, if it's all not, and it's not always, a lot of times there is a condition attached to that.
Yeah.
yeah, but what I understand, and even it's clear for me, but what I'm understanding is, and what Ray was even mentioning, that when we are talking about the behavior and the things that turn up your own kids to the police or for investigation or like, so, and even like when you say, I won't give you this one if you don't do this, that's not love kind of thing. That's a behavior kind of a thing that you want to train them. But when they end up in jeopardy or something like that, you always turn up and then you say, no, I'm the parent, even if he did wrong, but I'm the parent, I'm standing. But that's
But that's not
what you are
always.
talking.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, the love means your feelings towards your kids. They would never die. Like as we saw and we were talking about, that he knew she was wrong and he knew whatever, but he was even at that time, even she didn't want to see her father. But he waited and on the last hope that even he could see the glimpse of his daughter. So he tried to do, even she turned her back, whatever she did, whatever she was doing the wrong stuff, that's another part. But even being in the so low position in the prison, and she knows up straight that 5 7 years. So, but he still showed his love. Anyway, go ahead, Sabrina.
I want to jump in real quick
Okay,
because
go ahead.
I want to make a
Yeah.
point that I made earlier, and I don't think no one actually addressed it. So I'm going to address it one more time before the book dies. And that is the kind of the sub theme that I see that no one has talked about, and that is the idea that how I think, in my opinion, I think I would love to talk to the author or hear something from the author on this, but this concept of how men, not every man, but how many men make these ultimate sacrifices for their family, and how we are often kicked in the teeth and we accept it. Father's Day is one of the least loved holidays, where Mother's Day is what's what's the popular joke by the comedian? Mother Day is below Christmas. So the most popular holidays in America is Christmas and Mother's Day. So you got Jesus and your mama, and I think it's like Father's Day is like one step below Arbor Day or something like this. Uh, and the reality is, I think good fathers, and again, I know this is not the case for every man, but many men make the ultimate sacrifice. Um, we don't get recognized. We kind of take the brunt we kind of, we grunt it out, and we don't get recognized. And I think we don't. I think at a certain point in our husbandhood and fatherhood, we realize that we're just not, and so stop. Don't even expect anything, um, and that's fine. But I think that's a theme in the book that uh, that I would be remiss not to mention again. That Frank is getting it on every end. Frank's getting it from Maggie. Frank's getting it from Tammy. Frank's getting it from. I mean, he's getting it from every end,
But
and
is he making
that's.
a sacrifice?
Hmm?
But
Say that
is he
again.
making a sacrifice?
Absolutely, he's making. He made it. He made. He.
Because
You know
he turned
when I say
Maggie
no,
in.
when I make, well, I didn't say sacrifice. What I'm saying is he's doing what he's supposed to do, and men in general who decide that they're going to be a man, who decide that they're going to be fathers, we get kicked in the teeth. And I think that's a point. I think that's a point that is being made in a book that maybe some females won't see. But I saw it as a man. I saw it that Frank's get it. Frank is getting it on every end. We get it at work. We get
But
it
Frank,
from.
but Frank gives it too. Frank turned in his daughter to the police.
No, and as he should.
Kind of,
No,
sort of.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. As he should have, because you gotta look who Frank is. Frank is a upright man, right? He does everything upright, so of course he's going to turn Maggie into the police. But at the end of the day, what's the last words of the book? Can I have another 5 minutes? That was the last words in the book. Can I have another 5 minutes to be somewhere near his daughter? And as I said earlier, I hope and pray that that my kids are upright and they do make the right decisions. But if my kids do something foul, they're getting turned in. That doesn't stop my love for them. I'll be in there. I'll be in there visiting them every visiting day, and I was never
And,
stop loving on them.
and
So
Errol for
then
sure wasn't making any sacrifices.
and I think that's one of the things that we're taught, that the author is one of the points the author is trying to make, is that men, we have to be these stoic figures. We have to make the right decisions. We have to, and if we don't, we get it. We get blasted. Where everyone else is forgiven. What Chris Rock say? The only people that are truly loved are women, babies, and puppies. That's the only things that are truly the only people that are truly women, babies, and puppies. So I think from and I notice this has all come from men, and these are things that in today's society, because most men, we get kicked in the teeth for being patriarchal and repressing women, but at the end of the day, when you have a everyday Joe like Frank, who's not an Earl Gardner, who doesn't have money, who doesn't have power, he got on that EPS truck 25 years, whatever it was. He did what he's supposed to do. He lost his wife. He didn't do anything wrong with parenting Maggie. He did everything right from what we see in the book for parenting Maggie. He got a woman involved to give her the woman's side. He tried to talk to her about when she was going on have her first menstrual cycle. Frank never failed Maggie. At no point did Frank fail Maggie, right? He tried to protect her. He tried to protect her as much as he could. I'm not saying that Frank was perfect, but because no one is. But if you're going to be a father, you want to be like Frank. And I'll shut up after this. I'll be remiss not to make this point. I think this is a theme that the author is trying to make subtly in this book about how good guys come in last place. That
I think I saw that a little bit with Frank and Errol and them at the end at the townhouse when Frank was came with the video, whatever he had, the map from Abigail, and the way that Errol and Jerry was handled it, because they really felt like if Frank had something, Frank should have came in like, I got something, y'all gonna give me something in return. But he came in as a place of honor. I kind of understood what you're saying about from a men's point of view when all of that was playing out the end, based on how you felt in the beginning of the book.
Bridget, can you repeat your point of view? Because I'm trying to understand, so I want to understand it from you clearly. Can you repeat your point?
I was saying, like in the part of the book when Frank came back to the that townhouse, whatever they was at, and with the map that Maggie had with Errol and Gardner and all of them, and all of that happened. To me, it was like they really felt as if Frank should have came, like he had something, then he should have asked for something in exchange for it. Like he should have got something. He should have played dirty. And I think because Frank didn't play dirty, that's where maybe they just kind of like, he ain't one of us. He a nice guy. Let's just put him over there. That's why would they want to kill Abigail and not want to kill Frank? He had the map too.
No,
I understand
to
that
answer,
part.
no, because
I
he
think that was a
was
flaw. I think that was a flaw in the book,
no, no,
by the
no, no,
way.
no, no, no,
Frank
no,
should have got offed.
no, no,
Frank
no,
should
no,
have got
no,
offed.
no,
That
no,
was
no,
a
no.
flaw
It's
in the
not a
book.
flaw. No, no. I would explain that. When he was trying to say, okay, I have given this map, and then he was going back, probably Errol was not trusting him. He was trying to get the trust of Errol because Errol's mind was hooked that every relationship is transactional. And even when he did that, if you see that he said, Maggie's eyes flashed. Oh, this is the fair decision
No,
because he was speaking their language. So he was
Frank,
trying to get, yeah, go ahead.
Frank should have got offed when Aiden shot himself. I didn't understand why they didn't kill Frank right then and there,
He didn't have
because
any proof or any kind of
they
thing.
could have off Frank and said that Aiden did it. And I didn't just understand it. Why keep Frank
But
around?
at that
Maggie
point,
wouldn't.
Frank still didn't know anything.
Yeah, he didn't
Frank
know
didn't really
anything.
have. He
He
just
was
knew
putting
about
one and
Errol
one
and
together.
Maggie's relationship.
He just punched Earl in the face. He was just putting one and one together. He talked to Kathy without their permission. Like Frank in the real world in that scenario, that would have been a perfect opportunity to off Frank when that
Yeah, but
seller
that
with
was
Aiden.
that was at that point he didn't know where the body of that girl Dawn Taggart was. He didn't know what was the
I,
plot, and actually it was Abigail's assassination plot or
I think that
plan
was a
that triggered.
major flaw in the book. That lost some stars for
And
me. That lost some stars for me.
and Frank did try to play dirty at the end when he was at the apartment because he asked for 5,000 shares of
No, that was
capacity.
to no, no, that
That was
was
to throw them off the scent. That was just to throw
But
yeah,
them off the scent.
I'm just saying he was trying
no,
to play their game.
Yep.
no, he was trying to get
He
out of that
wasn't doing
building.
it sincerely,
He
but he was
he
trying to
was
play the game so he could get out
he
of the
was
situation.
yeah, he was trying to get
To
out of the
save
building.
Abigail. To save Abigail.
Yeah.
Yeah. He saved Abigail by the time when he called, but he was trying to get safely out of the building because he was thinking, if I do this one, Errol is never going to trust me. And even he, at some point, he figured it out. Maggie is not going to trust him as well.
I got another point before I forget. None of y'all talking about Kathy, how nasty Kathy was. I saw y'all protecting Kathy too. Kathy nasty.
Who
She
the
had
wife?
she had
What's
Aiden out of
good
Wife?
for
wedlock.
the goose is good for the gander.
Who's
Well,
Catherine
well, hold
Gardner?
on. No,
Yeah,
no,
we
no,
didn't
no,
want to blow
no,
it for you.
no.
We couldn't say what
We don't
Catherine. You
know.
kept
Hold on
saying
a second.
Catherine.
We don't know at what point Earl started acting a fool. It could have been after the situation with Aiden, when he found out Aiden wasn't his son. So we don't know at what point.
No,
Didn't she say
It could
she
have
it
been
was
said
after
during
might
the
have been the
whole
she
reason
said
why.
from the
relationship?
beginning.
She
She
said from the
said from the
beginning.
beginning
I don't
he is
know.
always cheated on her. She was
Always.
like, you don't know how many times I've
Kind of
had to get
convenient. That was
Okay.
kind of
STI
convenient.
tests.
Yeah,
She
but we
said,
don't. Again,
Let's give the mic to
We don't
Yasmin.
know when he might
Yeah,
have started acting a fool when he
okay.
found out that Aiden wasn't his.
We'll talk about
He was
Catherine.
acting a fool
Yeah, you know
before
that's
he
rough. You
found
know
out
that's
he
a
was
rough one for
acting a
before.
y'all.
fool.
But y'all
Okay,
find that
Yasmin, you
out
go.
though. Ooh-wee.
Yasmin, you go ahead.
I had a grandbaby for 7 years, so I know the feeling, Ray. I thought this baby was my son's, and my son's still mad.
Not a
Stop it a lot. That
grand.
ain't funny. That's not funny though.
Um, yeah, I was just saying that, yeah, whatever was good for the goose is good for the gander. If Errol was stepping out, then it was okay for Catherine to step out. Now, Catherine should have told that it wasn't us. Wait, she did say eventually that Aiden wasn't Errol's son, but Aiden never knew. And she was trying to protect Aiden.
No,
Right.
they only found out because of the disease. She never came clean initially. She didn't come clean initially. They found out because of
Yeah, but I'm just
test.
saying she did. She admitted it once
Yeah,
it came out. But I'm just saying,
okay, but he
yeah.
found out, and he chose. I have
Yeah.
look. I'm being quiet on that point because I have a serious issue with that. If you're gonna stay after you find out something, you deal with it. If you're gonna make the decision to stay, you adjust. Right? He made the decision that he's gonna raise that child as his own. He failed.
Oh no,
he
no,
failed
no,
to do
no,
that.
no, no,
I'm
no,
sorry, Ray. I
no.
can't
It
agree
don't
with
work
you on
like
that
that.
one.
No,
When
no,
you
that's from a woman's perspective.
well,
It doesn't
and
work
it
like
might
that.
be,
It doesn't
it
work
might
like that.
be, but I'm a
It
woman,
doesn't
so
work
that's
like that.
the
No,
only
no, no.
perspective I can
With
give.
no, that
we
doesn't.
have
I'm
to
telling you
remember.
from a man's perspective, it doesn't work like that.
Well, I
Okay,
can only
I
give
have
a
one.
woman's perspective because that's all I am.
Okay. Okay, let's
Because
there are two people.
he
There are two people still, three people actually still waiting to talk. So let's.
No, no.
I have a.
You took it off the normal pattern here,
Okay.
so let it ride.
Okay.
We'll get to him. We still have time.
Errol didn't agree to raise Aiden as his own. The only reason he stayed was for the money.
Well,
Exactly.
there you
Catherine had
go.
the money. He
Exactly.
never agreed to raise Aiden as his own. He just, the only good thing, not even really a good thing, but he just didn't tell Aiden that he wasn't his own, which probably would have been better.
Yep.
It would have been
But
better off
Errol
in the
was
long
like,
run. So
And even
Errol
he
was
didn't
just
tell
hands
Catherine.
off. And so
Errol
Aiden
was like, Aiden ain't my son. I know my son won't act like that. This boy like
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
Can we not
Even he
hear each
didn't tell
other?
Catherine even. Catherine even didn't know that he knows.
Uh-oh, something happened.
Catherine did know that he knew.
Yeah, Catherine knew.
I can see a few people, but I can't hear anybody.
All right.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Everyone is pretty much.
Yeah, maybe
Everyone
the
is
view
pretty
of your
much
gallery.
muted.
Yeah. Okay. Yasmin, I want to ask you. You were telling about like when he turned his daughter to police. So do you think when parents they try to correct their kids and turn up to any kind of like in a school or wherever it would be, so they want to have any correctional measures, so that destroys their love towards their kids?
I'm not understanding your question.
When the parents, like Frank, he would turn their kids to the higher authority or correctional authority. So do you think that destroys their love towards their kids?
No, I think it may destroy the love of the child toward the parent because the parent is turning them in out of love. They're doing it because they love their child and they want to keep them safe and
hold them accountable.
And to be, I was going to say, and be a responsible adult and hold them accountable. So I don't think it's going to destroy the love of from the parent, but the child will most likely lose love or lose respect, like we saw Maggie doing.
Yeah, because when you mentioned that, when we were talking about the unconditional love, and you said because Frank turned his daughter to police, so I was thinking that you were talking about that where is his unconditional love? Anyway, you have to add some more points, Jasmine.
Nope, that's it.
Okay, who would go next? Dr. Moss and Hina. Hina, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Well, I think I was just thinking because I finished the book in first week, by the way. So, and that's the very reason I was busy, but I thought it's better if I don't come next week because it's like too much information I had and you guys didn't, so it wasn't fair. But from the beginning, I was sure about one thing, that Tammy wasn't corrupt, because opportunist have two connotations, if that makes sense, negative and positive. She might be opportunist in a like positive way, but she did not create Maggie, for sure. Maggie was a person of her own and an evil one. Like that woman had no regard for anyone, literally anyone. She didn't care about her father, her auntie, or whoever. Like every relationship, we are talking about Errol here, but even for her, every relationship was kind of a staircase or to climb up in life or something like that.
A stepping stone.
Yeah, a stepping stone basically. So yeah, that is exactly what she was. And regarding the Errol and Catherine relationship, yeah, they both were similar. I don't understand. Like Errol had very clear thing. Like everyone knows that he stayed because of the money, but what they did with Aiden wasn't fair. And honestly, I believe that he was the poor one in the whole scenario. Like he was actually a very good soul who got what we say caught between in crossfire between two parents kind of situation, or two people. He wasn't even his parents, so yeah. But he lost his life for nothing,
Well,
literally.
he took his life away for nothing, and Aiden is not, in my humble opinion, Aiden is just as guilty as everyone else. He was an adult. He got benefits of being wealthy. He got around to sat around to the pain all day. He threatened Gwendolyn's life. Aiden wasn't a saint.
No,
I'm sorry, he
Ray, he
wasn't a
was a
saint.
different personality. If you we have to think about his personality because he was an artist. He was a soft
When
soul. He was
when you
people
rob a
are
when you rob a bank, all right, and you're the getaway driver, you never enter the bank, but you're the getaway driver. You're just as responsible as the people who entered the bank.
he
Aiden had
loved
the
his mother.
opportunity.
He loved his
That
mother so
someone
dearly. He was
died.
emotionally involved.
Don
That's the thing.
Taggart died. He knew that Don Taggart
Yeah,
died.
but who
He
killed
had
But
Don?
the
his mother,
Who
his
opportunity.
mother killed him.
exactly?
He had the
It's a love between
opportunity.
a mother and a
He
child.
No,
and
but see,
yeah,
It's
and
that's
a
he did
again,
not
son.
want to
Yeah,
turn in his
he wasn't
and
mom.
it,
Maggie.
and it,
Take it
and it,
from me. He wasn't Maggie. He was a
Mm-mm.
son who was protecting the
His
mom.
mom,
so
yes.
here's the thing. Again, the same thing with the father turning the son in, the children in. The son
No,
has to
this
turn
one
mom
over
in.
here, this come with a $1 million ransom, and that father's an ex-sheriff. That's all an inside job. Just wait, hold on a little bit for the rest of this story, Ray, about the father turning in like he a hero because he turned his son in. He getting a big bag too. But anyway, back to the story. Don't compare
Frank
it to this
let
guy.
Maggie go for so
I
long.
am.
He kept thinking that everyone else is wrong, but not his daughter. So he wasn't that kind of like person. Then there was no other thing, and she turned on him. Only then he
No.
realized, oh no.
See, this
She's
is an
not a
issue.
good
This is the
woman.
issue of ethics, right?
No,
If you took an
no,
ethics
no.
class, anybody's taking an ethics class, we go over this in ethics class. It doesn't matter when what is the ethical thing to do. It's not because if you're the
Yeah, that's
victim, hold on a
I
second.
was.
If you're the Taggart's family, right? If you're the Taggart's family, you want the truth, and Aiden is hiding and holding on to the truth. That's Aiden is just as responsible. You got to think about the victims, and that's what makes Frank
So
the hero
Frank is
here.
not a hero either. Then Frank
No,
knew a
Frank is
lot of things.
definitely a
Frank
hero. No,
denied.
Let
No,
me
he
Frank is definitely a
listen to
refused to
hero.
Reina.
believe. He
Let
Frank
refused to
let
Frank has
believe.
done Frank. The
wait
only
wait.
the
Let's.
Frank
Yeah, I
is
was
definitely a
saying.
hero. The only thing he
Okay.
misstepped on was the thing with Doctor's cell phone. Probably should have turned Maggie in now, right then and there, when he knew something was a little weird. Um, but at the end of the day, he did the right thing for 95% of the book.
Yeah.
Um, but I
He
can't
was a
tolerate.
good guy,
I
but
can't say that just because Aiden was soft and soft spoken and a painter doesn't mean he is not a villain.
No,
He's just as the villain. He's just as much as the
again,
villain as
Let
they
me
want
let
everyone
me
else.
let's
wait,
agree to
Hina.
disagree
I will
because
no
I see it from a
Hina.
very different point of view.
Well,
Hina,
I'm looking.
I
Well,
want to
we got to
rather
look at it from an ethics. I hate that agree to disagree thing. We got to look
Hina.
at it from an ethics standpoint. What does ethics say? What does it?
Let me ask
Would
Hina one more
Aiden?
Ethics
question.
But
says that
Aiden was
a
young.
son
Aiden was as
protected
young
his
as
mom.
Maggie, so he shouldn't be responsible for
Wait,
denouncing his
Hina,
parents as an adult. He tried to stay
Hina.
away from them. Errol kept dragging him and wanted him to marry Maggie. He was out
Well,
somewhere minding his ever-loving
okay,
creative business, playing, teaching
we'll talk
art.
about Aiden in a while.
He
But
was
let me
young. I
ask
mean, and
Hina.
had access to money. I probably would have ignored my parents and came around, took care of my little lush mother every now and then, and ignored the rich dad and took their money too and finished painting.
Okay,
But that
let
don't
me
make him a bad person because he couldn't. So he
Period.
sold some more artwork or something. He couldn't break out on his own.
yeah, but what about we will talk about Aiden in a while. I want to understand from Hina. You said about Frank that he was like not a straight person or something. What makes you think about that?
I didn't say straight person. I said
Or what?
morally that correct because
Yeah.
he knew about his daughter as well. And he chose to protect his daughter and he was
How?
in denial. He didn't want to believe that his daughter is wrong. She
No,
was
but
wrong from the beginning, but he's like,
but look
no,
at no
everyone
on a
else is
hearsay.
wrong.
Yeah,
She's
but
not.
on a yeah, you're talking about till the point like part 5 where he didn't turn around, like he didn't go to the police. This is what until that point you're talking about. But
No,
at the end,
my
when he actually not got, he actually went for, and then he found out some kind of an evidence. That's the point when he could do that.
no, at that point he had realized that my daughter can turn onto me. That was the thing. It was the survival of the fittest. Sorry, but that's the
No. I
fact.
think
No, no.
No,
so
that
See,
was.
hold on a
when he
second.
went to the
The only
toilet,
time, listen, let's break this down for a second. The coat incident, right? He checked her on that. All right.
he was
checked
thinking
her
of
on the coat.
cocaine or something like
He
that.
checked her on the coat incident. The doctor's cell phone thing, he didn't really know what was going on. He was kind of left in the dark because she was being very cryptic. All right. And she asked him to tell a fib. So he didn't really know what was going on with the
I
doctor
wanted to,
until the doctor's cell phone thing, until later on.
I'm not talking
All right.
about that. I'm talking
But
about
so
later.
and then the things with the Gardeners, he was just upright the whole time. He was upright the whole time.
No, he went back to give
wait,
her the map. He
no,
wasn't
wait,
holding Maggie
because look,
accountable.
wait. There is only one point if you're talking about that point, but I had another point to talk about regarding Frank. But when his sister said that you don't understand the adult's decision as an adult decision, so you just get off yourself and being rather than a traditional father, let her take her own adult decision, whatever it is. So then realized, okay, then he said, okay. But he didn't have any evidence of Don Taggart's. But I was going to ask actually, if you remember when the jacket issue was there in the beginning, what did he do? If you remember the jacket issue.
I know, but that's called parenting. You asked her to do the right thing. But still, after knowing that much, somehow he was like, oh no, my daughter is a saint.
When did he know all this?
That's what I'm saying. From the beginning, like from the childhood, he could see the pattern. He should have understood the level of what his daughter can do. He had an accident. She didn't even bother to come and see him. Which daughter does that?
But again, that goes back to the point about a parent's love. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
So hold on a second.
He was blinded by love.
Slow down for a second. Slow down. When he figured out that she was a straight up criminal, he did the right thing. Those other things, he didn't know that she was actually a criminal. Right? The coat thing, what he's going to do is turn her into the police. No, he did the right thing. Right? He made her, he turned the coat in. He did whatever he did with the coat. Right, the doctor cell phone thing, he was left in the dark. He really didn't know what was going on.
He knew. So he came to know after the incident.
When it was time to step up, he stepped up. So
I strongly believe it only happened when she turned onto him. when he
Wait, wait.
tried, he knew that they are going to kill me as well and thingy.
Doc,
Only then, until that point, he wasn't thinking of that,
I would
turning her
remind
in.
what.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have.
No,
He would have done it before.
wait.
No,
Let
because you
me
got to
let
remember,
me.
up to a certain point, he thought that she wasn't complicit in any of this. He thought that she was a victim, right? So all of this is happening really fast.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
He didn't
saying.
know
Why
that
was
she
he thinking
was.
that? He saw so many things
Ray,
even at that
Ray.
place where they were getting married.
Yeah, but that's another. Ray, you missed one point. You said that when the Dr. Cell phone thing was there, and he was like kind of bit of a complicit or something like that, or it happened behind. No, that's the time when he said to the guy over the phone that he was. That's where she said the four-letter word, and then she said, then that's where she broke off.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why they stopped talking.
Yeah.
You're
So
absolutely right. So he did hold her accountable for that.
Yeah,
You're
no, we
absolutely right.
cannot.
I think Dr. Mahasa had her hand raised.
Yeah, that's what we were. Even Sajid, and I forgot about Sajid. Yeah, go ahead. Who would like to go?
Dr. Mahasa, you had your hand raised.
Am I going, or are you gonna since I was the last one to enter
No,
into the group, do you want Sadra to go
No,
first?
go ahead. No, go ahead. You had your hand raised.
A couple of things. One, when we were talking about parenting and how is it unconditional or is it conditional? I think father's love and mother's love are quite different because we look at our children from two different experiences, right? And I think that the majority of it, for most of us, it is unconditional. It really takes a lot for a parent to completely just turn away from their children. It takes a whole lot. I think Frank was trying to mend fences at every time. Being a widow, if no one knows what that feels like, you don't want to lose everything. If you lose the spouse, you don't want to lose the child. If you lose a child, you don't want to lose the spouse because you've lost so much. So you're doing everything to hold on to some semblance of normality for you. So I think that Frank, and I do agree with Dr. Ray on this point, I think that dealing with what we're dealing with and the kind of people that he was dealing with, I think he was the most ethical of everyone. When he had an opportunity to make a difference, he did. It did take him time to put things together. I don't think he was blindsided by Maggie. I think he was just being a dad who genuinely did not want to lose his daughter and was trying every way that he could. He tried through love, that didn't help. He tried through trying to make sense with her, that didn't help. But the idea of losing his daughter, just most parents can't fathom that, right? To lose total contact with their children. So I don't know if I blame him for taking so long to see it, but at the end, he did what was right. I think Maggie reminds me of any kid coming from nothing or who feels like they're coming from nothing. Somebody's phone is ringing. Oh. Any kid who's coming from nothing, trying to get whatever they can get in any way that they can. And so she just became so, enamored with having everything, feeling like her father never gave her enough. The loss of her mother made her feel like she lost everything. So whatever came her way, she took the opportunity and she ran with it. Unfortunately, it turned her into, something that we already saw in her teenage life, that these things were happening. But remember, as a teen, she didn't have her mom. She had her aunt, but she didn't have her mom. And they are not the same. Your aunt and your mom, they are not the same if you know the difference. And that's the reality. I think that Aiden, I'm just trying to touch some points. I think that Aiden, hold on, okay. Sajid, go ahead. I have someone on the door and I have to stop. Just a second.
Okay.
Yes,
Let's Mrs. Sajid go.
yes. Actually, I'm thinking little different from all of you.
Okay.
I guess,
Go ahead.
I guess, Aiden is uh, hero here. What Aiden tries initially, he tried to protect his mother, and he knew that this system of courts and Gary and Errol, they are so bad. And so he was aiding Errol and Gary just to protect his mother. And definitely he had
Don't you think,
procrastination.
don't you think when you become a devil's advocate, so you become equally criminal, as
Yeah,
Ray was
I'm I'm
mentioning? If
I'm
you
I'm
are,
coming I'm
yeah,
coming to
if,
that point.
yeah, go ahead.
He was procrastinating just to save his mother, but but he decided that when he took his life, then he decided that okay, now he cannot aid to the devil's plans.
Hmm.
And we were talking about Frank. Maggie is a kind of Machiavellian character.
Hmm.
She always behaved differently, and she got benefit of doubt, because you know that parents' love is unconditional. If
Right.
children do something wrong, we blame ourselves. Okay, this may be our fault. And Maggie had benefit of doubt. She had no she had was missing her mother. So 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 Frank, if Maggie had whatever moral dilemmas Maggie had, Frank, you know that children and parents, they have a generation gap. So we are just trying to figure out, okay, what is wrong, what is the difference between our generation and the younger generation. So as a father, Frank was just trying to figure out what was wrong in his training. Uh, so so uh, what Frank is doing, Frank is just trying to compromise with the situation. And Maggie is antagonist, and Frank is Tommy is not aiding. Tommy is not making Maggie, but Frank is making Maggie what she is. Frank has a, because you know that whatever the flaws Maggie has, Frank Frank can never report to police, because for example, if Maggie is cheating, so the blame game would turn to Frank, that okay, he had some deficiencies, he had some problems, he maybe he was not providing the kind of facilities Maggie is missing. So so uh, what I'm trying to figure out, Aiden is a protagonist. Eden is a hero here, because we find change in his character. He was procrastinating because he was artist. He was a literary figure,
I
and
think you guys are overselling. You guys are
But
overselling this artist thing.
yeah, what
You,
can
you
that's
guys
what
are
I was going to
overselling this
say.
artist thing.
Even
Like
he
artists
couldn't
are
fight his
perfect. Artists are
emotions.
evil. Artists can be evil too. You guys are
Yeah, yeah,
putting
that's
way
it.
too much value on being an
That's
artist.
Yeah, being
Well,
soft or being
he
something.
painted. He Aiden did paint. He had artwork or whatever. He considered himself an artist. So I'm just
What
calling
kind
him
of
what he is. Like
Yeah,
describing him.
what kind of
Not
a
to say
heroism
that
you call it,
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you
yeah,
okay,
shoot
I
yourself
agree.
as a
he was
heroism?
an artist, yes, but you guys are painting artists like they can't be criminals. Artists can be criminals.
No,
They can
you
be
know
bad people
that.
too.
No,
Artists can be
that.
bad people.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
if
know
you are
where we get
talking
this
about
idea
that
that
one,
artists are not bad people. They can be bad people
yeah,
also.
no,
I
but
mean,
he
they
was.
can be bad people also, but we don't see any bad thing in Eden.
uh,
Here's the standard for me.
i- i-
The standard for me was would Aiden is Aiden complicit in Don Taggart's murder? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, Eden, Eden,
Yes.
Eden,
even
So
Eden
he's
is
Aiden is
complicit.
an
I
adult.
have to
Initially,
add something here,
Aiden is an
Ray.
adult. And so
I have
therefore we cannot call Aiden the protagonist.
Yeah,
He's
even
not the
I have to,
protagonist.
even I was going to add something, some point which Ray is mentioning, and also uh, like a kind of rebuttal to your whatever your argument is. He was even complicit to Gwendolyn's death.
Oh, yes. Oh,
He
yes.
Who,
he was
who
he
was
was
Gwendolyn? Who was Gwendolyn again, brother
His
Sabi? Who was
girlfriend, his
Gwendolyn?
side piece, Aiden's
yeah,
side
His
piece.
his class
he
fellow,
That was
classmate.
his
his class
main
fellow.
girl.
That's his
Maggie was
side
the
piece.
side piece. Maggie
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
side
that was
Y'all
his
call
main
Aiden,
girl.
Maggie was the
y'all call
side
Maggie was the
Aiden,
piece.
side piece.
y'all call Aiden. Oh yeah, that's actually his main girl. You're right. That's his main girl.
Yeah,
Maggie was nothing to him actually.
yeah.
Maggie was nothing to him. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
She was
how
upright
do we
girl.
call
She was an
Aiden? Yeah,
upright girl.
so yeah, let's get on this. How is Aiden the protagonist? That's a good point. He didn't say anything about Gwendolyn's death. That was his girl. That was his woman. He said
Life.
nothing.
Yeah.
And
Nothing.
Aiden committed suicide just because of
Because he's a
Gwendolyn.
coward. That's
What
what
she was
cowards do.
No,
what she
how
was
That's what
come a
trying to
guilty
hero,
people do.
how come a hero or a kind of protagonist would kill himself and then you say, okay, I'm surrendering. I can't bear anymore. What kind of a hero would that be?
Yeah, what come on
I
that's
uh,
surrender and then even my mother goes to hell or whatever. So I
just
surrender.
let me explain it.
Yeah.
Aiden surrendered. Aiden surrendered because he had lost hope in his life because Gwendolyn was gone, and what Gwendolyn was expecting from him, just to leave it out, uh, just to get away from this.
And this is the
Uh,
protagonist that he couldn't even save or kind of even go out and then say whatever. He could have found millions of solutions, not only in this format. Anyway,
it's 1 minute till 9.
I
Can we
was
start
going to say
wrapping it up?
Dr. Mahasin still has to say things.
yes,
And we have to rate the book as well.
Yeah.
And the next book. Yeah,
I
Dr.
think
Mahasin.
I'm just typing in some of my points, and I pretty much kind of am, agreeing with folks all across the board on some things. But I think that, Aiden growing up in a family, with a father that powerful, who finds out that he's not his son, we really don't know, what kind of treatment he and his father had. So he may have done anything to win his father's love. He definitely was going to support and protect his mother no matter what, because I'm sure, as we can see, his mom protected him through many things. So I'm not sure. I do believe that Aiden was weak. I do believe that he was a coward, but I think a lot of it had to do with this fear of his father. Not necessarily that he knew that his father was capable of even killing him, but he was fearful of his father's power. That doesn't excuse him. It just is,
Why
you know.
doesn't Aiden, if he was such, why doesn't Aiden go to a news reporter and say my mom is dying of alcoholism? There's some weird stuff going on in this place, and let's do something about this.
I think Aiden was just weak, Dr. Ray. I think he was just, I mean, when you
I,
to be
yeah,
that weak
it's
in character and even afraid. I mean, I don't know what that looks like. This was the closest thing that I've seen in a character that
So
not just paralyzed to do anything.
Fredo
yeah,
Corleone was weak too. He was still a member of the mob.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. I get it.
yeah. The
I get it.
Corleones. I'm talking
Yes,
about
Hina, I
like
agree with his childhood
yeah,
traits. I
yeah.
definitely
Even
agree.
even let's say when he lost, when
Sorry, it
he
was
tried
trauma.
to.
It's miss. It was a typo. Yeah.
No, I was saying to Hina, I agree with you. You wrote, we shouldn't forget his childhood traits. Definitely.
Yeah, even like his mother. I mean, if she would have been like she would have detected that the father's attention towards his son has changed when she discovered something like that.
But the
She would
mother
have
knew what
detected it
she
earlier.
did. She knew that wasn't her husband's son.
Yeah.
She knew that before Errol knew that.
Yeah, yeah. She knew before the that DNA test. She knew
Yeah,
it very
she
well.
knew that.
So,
But
but
I mean,
she should have done something in terms of, and also
But we're
I'm
talking
talking
about a
about
zip code that we don't live in, a life that we don't live in, a moral compass that we don't their moral
yeah,
compass
but
is so low.
yeah,
We don't operate, normal people don't operate
Remember,
like that.
remember what Catherine said. What was Yasmin, the famous, the good quote? I got more 45,000 pennies in my
I
bottom of
got
my purse.
In the
I got
bottom of
40
my
grand
purse.
of pennies in the bottom of my purse.
So
Yeah,
Catherine, Catherine was gangster.
definitely.
Catherine was gangster.
Catherine knew what was going on. She wasn't.
She knew what was going on. Catherine was
and
gangster.
also I was saying that if Aiden was raised in a pressured kind of a situation and that he couldn't develop all aspects of his personality in a strong way, he still could have like when once things like when he matures up, he had his own time, like he had a space, enough space to grow himself. And like he okay, he didn't stand for Gwendolyn. Then he had one person left in his life, which was his mother. But he just denied his mother and just took his life and then he, I mean,
Right.
away from the pain.
Yeah.
He
So much
couldn't
for
help
protecting your
his
mother.
mother, and he couldn't
Yeah,
even
but
help
like
his.
So
what
much
kind
for
of a son
protecting
would,
your mother. Take
He
your
couldn't
life.
yeah,
protect
Wow.
his mother.
what kind of a hero would be leave the mother into that kind of Errol's, if you are saying Errol was so devil or other guys, so just leave her alone in that old age even.
I don't
So I
think
don't know. I
Aiden,
don't
I
know.
don't think Aiden was the hero. I don't think he was the
Yeah,
hero.
yeah.
I think definitely
After
he was
Gwenda.
weak, but also too, it's like
Let's
Gwendolyn
yeah,
wanted him to give it up. Gwendolyn
okay.
was like, give up all the money, give up all the power, give up, like, leave your family. And he
Hmm.
basically like, how am I going to survive with all of this?
Right.
That was one of the things that Frank said. When he saw the apartment, he was like, wait, how are you guys afford? How is he's an artist. How is he affording this?
Yeah. I
And then
mean like
Maggie told him that he's Errol Gardner's son. And then he was like, oh my God, Errol Garner is wealthy, so that's why he can afford that. Gwendolyn, while she loved Aiden and maybe Aiden loved her in some respect, Aiden was not giving up all of that money. He was not going to give it up. So I think the fact that he killed himself was like he was at the end of his rope, where he was just like, I'm never going to get out. They're never going to let me out. So either I'm going to just kill myself and take myself out, or they're going to kill me. So I'm just going to kill myself because I
see
know there's no way
see
out.
dying in a
And I know my mother's going to be okay. I know my mother's going to be okay. She is a complete mess, but when this all comes out, and what if it does all come out, Cat, the only person who went to jail was Maggie.
Because of
Everybody
the
else went
money.
to rich people's jail.
Money,
Martha
money,
Stewart's
yeah,
money,
jail.
money,
I would have
money.
a favorite quote in that one. He says all the poor people are only in the jail.
Exactly. Maggie. That's it. Maggie.
Yeah,
So
anyway,
But
I
Maggie,
think that's the
Maggie
reason
gonna come
why.
let's
back
we
strong
have two
because
things
Maggie
still
still
to
got her capacity stock, and she, like you said, she in Martha Stewart prison. The rest of them didn't really go, so she still got a good. So she probably got a deal to finish covering them because that story probably didn't come out about how she was supposed to
Oh,
marry.
oh
Aiden
yeah.
was the,
Oh,
like
trust,
she was
believe.
the
The
mistress or
only reason,
whatever.
trust and believe, the only reason Maggie's in prison because she worked the deal out with Errol.
Gotta
Trust and
be a
believe that.
gotta be.
Yeah, I
Guess
don't think
Trust
she,
and
Freddie
believe
yeah,
that.
gotta be
I don't
back
think
on.
she,
Trust and believe
yeah,
that.
okay, we
I
have two
definitely
Trust
think
and
subjects.
she
believe that.
agreed.
I,
I
I
definitely
wanted
think
to
she
talk about.
agreed to
We are
to
5 minutes,
take
six
the
minutes
bag,
over, even though we just started right on time. We have still two things to decide about. One is I would withdraw my whatever I wanted to talk about, actually child psychology and early age development, but I would not talk about. We will talk it in the future. So we have to rate the book, and then we have to decide about the new book. So that's what will go ahead with that one. We have like let's say 4 minutes, four more
I'll start
minutes.
it off. I'll start
Okay,
it
go
off.
ahead.
4.8.
Ray 4.8. Yes, Hina, everybody get ready with your points. Go ahead. Bridget, Sajid.
5.
Bridget's 5.
4.8,
Sajid,
4.8, because book
4.8.
is dealing with complexities of human relations.
Yep, yep. Yasmin,
4.
4.
Damn, you hard,
Dr.
Yasmin.
Mahasin,
Golly.
I was gonna say 3.5.
Dr. Mahasin,
For me, probably 4.5.
4.5. And Tamara?
I give it a 5, specifically for the twists and the turns and the trauma and all of the psychological stuff that was going on. So a 5.
Then I do not
5.
give it a 5 is
Hina.
because I think Frank should have got murdered. I
Yeah.
think he should have got off. That's the only
Okay,
reason.
Well, I
just
thought
to
you would lose
clarify,
your
we are rating
hero.
out of 5, right?
Frank
Hina,
is your
Hina,
hero. Frank is your
Hina.
hero.
You would lose
He's
the
my hero,
hero.
but sometimes the hero
Hina.
dies.
Sorry,
Hina?
just to clarify, we are rating out of 5, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, 3.
3. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
For
think
why
it is a
you
very, I'll
what
tell you the reason.
why
It's a
did you cut away 2?
very,
I have no asked nobody, but I have to ask you. Why
yeah,
did you cut away 2?
cut away too. Yeah, that's what I was explaining. It's a very well-written book with a very bad plot, if that
Bad
makes any
plot.
sense. Yeah, I did not like how it turned, but I
What is the
like the
bad
way
plot?
it is written. I think
What
if
is the
I
bad
start
plot?
explaining, it will be too much. If you go and you
No, just
like, I
just
had an
objectively.
idea
Don't go
and I
into
read the
subjective.
Google
No,
reviews, and you will find the reasons
no,
there,
I'm asking
exact
Hina
5
review. I'm
reasons.
not asking Google review. I'm asking Hina review. So
Oh,
give me
that's what I'm
objective
saying. They were my
objective
like
points.
points, exactly.
I want to understand. I want to educate myself.
Well, I didn't like it. That's the whole thing. It's my
That's not
review.
objective. That's subjective. I don't like
No,
it.
But
Okay,
a
then.
rating
objective
is
is that I told you
subjective.
it's a
A
well-written
rating is
book that
subjective.
Yeah.
with a weak plot. I found a lot of like
No, I
weakness in the
wanted to find
plot.
out the weakness of the plot. What
Oh,
is
you
the
want
weakness
another
of
hour? You have another hour?
No, we
Let me
don't.
see.
So who's
We're
up
not
for the
about.
who? So as
Okay,
Yasmin, are you gonna select the book?
I will do that. I have 4.75.
Wait,
Oh,
everybody didn't
4.75.
go.
4.75.
Everybody didn't give a score yet.
Yes.
Sabrina, Sajid, what happened?
Sabrina didn't
Oh,
do.
Sabrina, I'm sorry. Sabrina,
I give it
Sajid.
a 4.
Oh, okay. You have any bad points in the plot?
I also felt like I didn't like. I mean, it was an enjoyable read, but some of it starts to get predictable. Some of it was like, all right, here we go. I do agree that Frank should have died. To me, that was the logical thing. They should have off Frank a very long time ago. But
Frank is on a cliffhanger of emotions that his daughter, he has to turn up his daughter. So he took
yeah,
a
no, but I
very,
think if
very
they were
kind
going
of.
with the gap with what they were portraying Errol and his little goons to be, Frank should have died.
I agree.
Okay.
What was the hitman? The hitman should have took him out a long time ago.
Yep.
Okay. Yasmin, you go ahead with your book, whatever you want to.
Still, did Brother Subject give his point number? Oh, he gave a point number?
No, he didn't, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, he gave 4.8. He gave
4.8.
4.8.
4.8.
Yeah.
Um,
Bridget gave
What was the
5.
average?
Dr. Mahasan gave 5. I haven't put that one in. I will, if you want, I can put. And in the meanwhile,
No, I didn't give it a
Yas,
5. I gave it a 4.5. Tamara gave it a 5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah, Tamara gave it a 5.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, you are right. Yours 5. So
Bridget
I
gave
would
it a
write.
5 also.
Yes, Bridget and Tamara gave 5, and you and Sajid gave 4.8. I gave 4.75, and then there are 2 4s. One is from Sabrina, and one is from who else?
Yasmin.
Yasmin. Okay, 4.8. Okay. In the meantime, you go ahead with your next book.
Okay. Really quickly before I go with the next book, didn't the silent patient have a artist killer? Am I remembering that story
Yeah.
correctly?
What was that? What
Yeah.
was that? The silent
Yeah.
patient? What was that? A book?
No, that
A
was
book.
before you guys joined. That was like
Oh, because when you said the silent.
from
Wasn't
Michael.
that our first
What you
book? Was
call?
that our first book?
No.
No.
I
It was
love
very,
that book, by the way.
way in the middle. Michael Echelides or whatever his name, something like
But
that.
wasn't
Alex Nicolades.
But wasn't the
Alex
artist
Michaelides.
the murderer? Or am I remembering that wrong?
No, she was an artist.
She was an
Okay.
artist, yeah.
She was an artist, and also the what was the psychiatrist was the killer.
Psychotherapist. He
Yeah,
was
Okay. So for the next book we're going to be reading, drum roll please. Craigslist Confessionals by Helena Diabala. It is a collection of 40 short confessions that deal with topics of trauma, lost love, reflections on hard choices, and some of the
Helena
stories are really heartbreaking,
Diabala. I might
and
have
some are heartwarming.
someone.
So hopefully we'll enjoy this one. And
Yeah.
it should be a short, quick, easy read. We can read it in 3 weeks, reading about 67 pages a week.
Can you tell me the
We-
name
we-
again, please?
Craigslist Confessionals.
We will put it in the group.
Craigslist. Well, this might get a little steamy.
Are we 9
Craigslist.
people in the group at the moment?
Yes, because it's a collection of short stories
4.43.
of people telling their what would they confess if they could do it anonymously. So all of these
Yeah.
confessions or these stories were told anonymously.
So everybody,
So the
so for all our non-Americans,
Put up
everybody know what
Bible.
Craigslist is? All the non-Americans, do you know what Craigslist is?
Mhm.
no.
That was like the one ads at one time.
Yeah, it was
it's
the,
like
yeah, it
the
was the
one
one
ads.
ads. It was the one ads,
Yeah.
and there was some
So
interesting things on Craigslist. You could find a job, you could find a car, you could find
so the
whatever.
Yeah,
author
I have heard about it.
All
the
right.
author put out an
Craigslist.
ad for people to tell their stories anonymously, and she collected all of these stories
Oh
and
wow,
wrote a book about it.
wow,
So it's
cool.
Yeah, they are
I'm
all different
cool.
from different perspectives. Yeah. They are all from
and they're all
different
written from the first person
First
point of view
person.
yeah,
as well.
perspective, yeah.
All right, that's
So our
cool.
average rating is coming
It's on hold. I'm getting
4.43.
it from the library tomorrow.
Is it
So
a new book, Yasmin, or
yeah,
is it?
Yasmin, it's in the ones, right?
I don't remember when it was published. I want to say
I wish
Yeah.
you, Mr. Hassan will find it.
2020.
Yeah, it's there.
It was published
Already.
like look right in the
Yeah, we
beginning
have
of
it. We
COVID,
have it.
2020.
Yeah, we have
2020.
it. Yeah, we have it. I shared with Yasmin already. What's that? Again, Yasmin, what's the name of it?
Craigslist Confessionals.
Yeah.
All right, well, that should be interesting. So we're gonna read the first 67 pages.
Yes, pages 1 through 72 for next
Yeah,
week.
I'm
1
going
through
to
72.
forward it.
Stop it. All right. Well,
All right.
thank you guys.
Assalamu
Great
alaikum,
conversation.
guys.
Yeah, you have the book in the group now. Thank
Oh,
you
the
very
book, you already
much.
downloaded the book already?
Yeah, we have already done yesterday before, something like that.
Oh, wow.
So you see the book now. And now, as you said, how many pages, Yasmin, you would like?
1 through 72.
1 through 72. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I'll make a poll for it and so everybody remembers. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okie See y'all next time.
Everybody have a
Shalom.
good night, rest of the week.
Have a good rest of the week, everyone. Have a
Assalamu
good day.
alaikum.
Those of you on the other
Goodbye.
side of the pond.
Have a great week, guys. Bye.
Tamara, don't hang up for a second. Stay on the call for a second.
Assalamu alaikum. Bye,
Please, yeah.
guys. Bye, everyone.
Are you
your name
talking
is
to me or are you
Tamara.
talking to Tamara?
Tamara.
Is she still there?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
still
still
there.
here.
Well, y'all
Okay.
Yeah,
so
this is Tamara.
surprised. I can't talk to Tamara. Huh? Gee. Well,
Yeah.
never mind.
That's the mother in me. That's the mother in me.
You talk to my daughter? Who you want to talk to again? It's after 9 o'clock. We don't take phone calls after.
All
I'm in
right,
America.
Dr. Ray, you
It's
got
2
one. You got
o'clock.
one this week. Uh-huh. Have a
So,
great
hey,
week. I'll
no,
talk to you
no, stay
soon.
stay on the call because you might. I want you to hear this too, Dr. Mahas.
Oh, okay.
I am planning a trip, a summer camp in Ethiopia next summer,
Okay.
and I want particularly Black kids to go. And it's going to be held in a resort in Ethiopia, nice resort, scenic. And the key is we're going to use that as a launch pad to visit historical sites in Ethiopia, like
Okay.
old historical sites. So I'm building a website now to prepare for that. And I just wanted, because I know you're in a school, and I wanted to see if you were interested in maybe floating the idea with the principal to see if they, because you have high school, right? You're in high school, right?
I'm in high school.
Yeah, to see maybe um, something the sophomores and juniors might be interested in. Um, and if the school may be interested in, and we could try to figure out a way to reduce the costs, and get kids to have a wonderful experience in Ethiopia. The great thing about Ethiopia is, from an American perspective, is no visas needed. So,
Well, I mean, I work for an outside agency.
mm,
So if you give me the information, the first thing I can do is float it by my
yep,
supervisor.
yep.
And then because we have a new principal. So this school is in receivership.
Ah,
So basically I mean, they're failing, basically. That's
got it.
why they're in receivership.
Yep.
They just got a new principal this year. One of his goals is to get out of receivership, but of course it's definitely going to take time.
So
So
this
it
is not
might
gonna be a
be,
focus for him.
yeah, so this may not be the focus for him, but if you give me all the information, I can float it by my supervisor because I work for, it's called the Center for Youth. So we work with kids from ages 13 to 25, I
Yep.
think. So this agency does mental health, it does food stuff, it does housing.
So
They have
when I
they
was
do a whole
doing my
bunch of stuff.
summer camps in the States, social services would pay for would pay for kids to come to my summer camp in Maryland. I mean, in Maryland they did. I don't know about other states, how other states were handled. So, maybe there may be an opportunity. I'm willing to do all the legwork, but I was wanting to see if that would first, if that would be something that you'd be willing to float,
Yeah,
and
if you
if
give me the
so,
information, I can float it by her and then basically find out what channels would I need to go because I've only been here since April. So I
absolutely,
started at the end of the school year. So this is my first full school year.
absolutely.
Um, and
So,
I'm in my office. They
so
finally gave me an office.
let me give you something nice and presentable. Make sure I want to make sure the
Yeah.
website, because people like to confirm things. My company is registered in the state of Delaware. I've been registered since 2009. We got tax returns, we got insurance, we got all that stuff that folks worry about. But let me get it out in a nice little pretty package, so it looks presentable. And yeah, I'll reach out to you on via WhatsApp when it's ready.
Okay.
Uh, and yeah, and then even outside the school, I don't know what other organizations you're affiliated with, but I think this is a great opportunity to for kids to get out and see a different part of the world. So,
Definitely.
Okay.
so yeah, that's all I wanted. Same thing with Dr. Mahasan. If you know people who want to spend time with old Dr. Ray and do Dr. Ray stuff in Ethiopia,
Okay.
I've been running summer camps since 2009. So I'm kind of good at this stuff. And this resort, I'll send videos of the resort. It's really nice, beautiful.
Okay.
And it's in a little bit outside of Addis Ababa. And yeah. Thank you for your time. I know you guys are busy, so
Nice.
It's the end of
Nice.
the day. So,
all right,
Definitely.
all right.
Yeah.
I'll
all
talk to
right.
you guys later.
All right. Listen, T, I'll call you when you get home from work.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
I gotta do.
Assalamu alaikum.